Oh, well, 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 look who it is. The ones who refused to bow, the ones who walked through the inferno while the world stood by, waiting for them to burn. You, yes, you, are the nightmare that doubt never saw coming, the force that silence tried to crush, the fire they thought would flicker and fade. And yet, here you stand. They laughed, didn't they? Scoffed, whispered, plotted in their little circles, convinced that you would crumble, certain you would fail. They watched with eager eyes, anticipating your downfall, ready to feast on your misery like the vultures they are. But here's the thing about people like you. You don't break, no, you build, you sharpen. You take every insult, every sneer, every smug little remark, and you forge it into something unshakable, something lethal. And now, they're silent, stunned, because you didn't just survive, you conquered. You didn't just prove them wrong, you obliterated every doubt, every assumption, every lie they told themselves about you. And now, they have nothing left. No excuses, no comebacks, just the bitter taste of defeat lingering in their mouths. Because the truth is, they never expected this. They never believed you had it in you, but we both know different, don't we? You earned this. Brick by brick, hour by hour, sweat and sacrifice while they mocked, while they laughed, while they waited for you to collapse. And now, those same voices that once doubted you, they're too dry to speak. Those same eyes that rolled with dismissal, now locked onto you, watching, unable to look away, because whether they admit it or not, you own their attention. You own their respect, even if it eats them alive to give it. But let's be real. You never did this for them. This was never about proving them wrong. This was always about proving yourself right. And that is what truly breaks them, because their entire identity was built around your failure. Their sense of self-worth was tied to the idea that you would never rise, and yet, here you are, powerful, unstoppable, a force of nature that no one can deny. So what now? Do you waste your breath reminding them of their mistake? No. You keep moving, you keep rising, because the ultimate power move isn't gloating, it's showing them with every step forward that their doubt was never a factor. Their hate, irrelevant. Their opinions, laughable. You keep evolving, keep winning, keep building, until you become so untouchable, so unreachable, that they have no choice but to sit in the shadows and watch. Because the greatest revenge isn't anger. It's success so undeniable, so absolute, that it shatters every illusion they ever had about you. But don't think for a second that they're done. Oh no, they'll regroup. They'll whisper in the dark, searching for any sign of weakness, clinging to the hope that this was just luck. They'll convince themselves, next time, he'll fall. Next time, she won't make it. How adorable. Because what they don't understand, what they will never understand, is that luck had nothing to do with it. This was inevitable. This was written in stone the moment you decided to rise. So let them watch, let them scheme, let them pray for your downfall. Because the truth, the only chance they have now is if you self-destruct. But you're too smart for that. You see the traps, you know the game, and you understand something they never will. Shutting them down once is nothing if you don't keep your foot on their throats. Because the moment you give them even the smallest sliver of hope, they'll crawl back desperate, clinging to the belief that they still matter. And that is where you make your final move. See, shutting them down isn't just about winning, it's about erasing doubt. It's about making sure they understand deep in their bones that standing against you was the worst mistake they ever made. So what do? You keep moving. You keep building. You make sure that every time they look up, they see you climbing higher, faster, further than they ever could. You force them to exist in a world where your success is a constant, relentless reminder of their failure. Because let's be clear, haters don't fear losing, they fear irrelevance. They fear the moment their words mean nothing, their voices fade into static, their presence is reduced to background noise in the story of your victory. And that is exactly what you give them. You don't argue, you don't justify, you don't engage in their games. You make them watch. Watch as you grow. Watch as you dominate. Watch as you turn their laughter into silence, their doubt into awe, their hate into nothing. That is the real power move. Not screaming, not retaliating, just winning so hard that they have no choice but to live with it. And you were built for this, forged for this. So let them stare. Let them sit in their silence. Let them drown in the weight of their own regret. Because the game is over. The tables have turned. And now they finally understand the truth. You were never the one to doubt. You were always the one to dominate. But wait, oh, we're not done. No, because there's one final twist to the knife. One last move to make sure they never forget your name. See, shutting them down isn't just about proving them wrong. That's too small, too temporary. No, shutting them down is about rewiring their reality. It's about ensuring that every time they close their eyes, you are the only thing they see. Because here's what they won't admit. Hate is just a mask, a fragile, desperate disguise for something far more dangerous. Fear. Oh yes, they feared you from the very beginning. That's why they mocked you. That's why they doubted you. That's why they tried to bury you. Because deep down they knew you had something they didn't. They knew you were dangerous. Not reckless, not chaotic, but relentless. And that is what separates you from them. They needed you to fail. Their entire existence depended on it, because if you could succeed, if you actually did, then what does that say about them? About their excuses, their abandoned dreams, their willingness to settle for mediocrity. You are the living proof of what they could have been, and that is unforgivable. And now they're trapped. Trapped in a world where you won and they lost. Trapped in a reality where your success is inescapable, undeniable, permanent. Oh, they'll pretend it doesn't bother them. Act like they don't care. But you see it. The way their smiles falter, the way their voices tighten, the way their hands clench just a little too hard when your name is mentioned. Because they feel it. That deep, gnawing dread. The realization that your success is no longer a possibility. It's a fact. And facts don't change. So what do? Nothing. You don't offer closure. You don't give them redemption. You let them live with it, because that is the real punishment. Not yelling, not proving a point. No, the real punishment is forcing them to exist in a world where you are untouchable. So go ahead, keep building, keep winning. Keep turning their silence into your symphony. And the next time they dare to say your name, the next time they try to convince themselves that maybe, just maybe, they still have a chance to bring you down, just smile, because you know the truth. They've already lost. And here's the real beauty of it. This is just the beginning. See, they think it's over, that the sting of their failure will fade, that time will dull the edges of their regret. But you and I both know different. Because true dominance, true undeniable, irreversible dominance, isn't a single moment. It's a legacy. It's a force so powerful, so relentless, that it doesn't just shut them down. It erases any hope of ever rising again. Because, let's be honest, they haven't fully felt it yet, not really. Right now they're still in shock, still clinging to the illusion that maybe, just maybe, this is temporary. That maybe you'll slow down, get comfortable, lose your hunger. That maybe the fire in your eyes will dim, that the weight of success will make you soft. They're waiting for it, praying for it, needing it. Because the only thing more unbearable than watching you rise is realizing that you're never coming back down. But here's where you break them completely. You don't stop. You don't pause. You don't even acknowledge their hopes, their whispers, their desperate little fantasies of your downfall. No. You move faster. You level up again. You build higher, stronger, sharper than before. And in doing so, you do something they never expected. You don't just leave them behind. You erase them from the equation entirely, because that's the final brutal truth they'll have to face. This was never about them. They were never the opponent, never the obstacle, never the force standing in your way. They were a distraction at best, background noise in a story that was always destined to be yours. And now they have to live with that. With the knowledge that all their energy, all their doubt, all their effort to keep you down meant absolutely nothing. And that realization That's the part that will haunt them. Because people like them, they don't fear losing a battle. They fear realizing they were never even in the fight. They fear looking back and understanding that while they were watching you, studying you, trying to sabotage you, you never looked back at them, never considered them a real threat, never wasted a second wondering if they were right. Never. That's what will break them, not the loss. The insignificance. And from here on out, every move you make, every level you reach, every milestone you smash through, it's another nail in the coffin of their self-doubt. It's another reminder that while they spent their time hoping for your failure, you spent your time ensuring your dominance. So let them sit in it. Let them drown in it. Let them feel every ounce of regret, every unanswered question, every opportunity they wasted while you turned yours into something untouchable. Because the final stage of shutting them down isn't proving anything. It's becoming something so undeniable, so legendary, that long after they fade into irrelevance, your name remains. And that is the moment you truly win. Because the ultimate power move isn't just rising above them, it's making sure they never even existed in the same conversation.